In this video, I want to talk about 10 easy, actionable ways that you can reset for a new month. This is a video that you could literally pop in the background and you could do this along with me. So at every step that I talk about, pause and take action. I'm talking about ways to reset your mind, ways to reset your space, ways to reset your goals, all of the above. And the first way to reset for a new month is to get clarity on your next actions for your goals. If you were a person who likes to set goals at the start of the year, the start of the quarter, you probably wrote down some goals and then you wrote down everything that you could possibly need to do to get those goals to come to life. And it's likely that when you did that, you felt feelings of total clarity. Over time, any plans that you create will start to feel fuzzy. And if you're not regularly interacting with the plans that you make, you're going to start to detach yourself from them and stop taking action on them. So to reduce fuzziness when it comes to your plans, revisit them, interact with them, breathe some life into them. Otherwise they become stale, they become old, and they go unused. Having this even just as a once a month task, I think is super helpful. It always reinvigorates me to revisit and rehash my plans. The next way to reset your life is to clean out one area of your life that doesn't get cleaned out enough. So pick an area that you know doesn't get enough attention. It could be physical, it could be digital, it might even be outside of your home like your car or your desk at work, and tidy it up. The one area that I chose to tidy up was my phone, an area that truly does not get enough attention. Considering we're using it every single day, we don't tidy it enough. The next thing to do to reset is to plan in 3 fun things for the next month. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you are not a person who spontaneously plans in and does fun things, goes out of their house, goes on adventures, then you need to be planning those things in. Because life is not about working and then sitting on the couch and watching TikTok and then watching a Netflix show on repeat. That is not what life is supposed to look like. It should have a stronger focus on creating moments of enjoyment, moments that are memorable. And those moments don't happen to you. Those are moments that you need to make happen. A few ideas for things that you can plan into your next month are planning in time outdoors. Nature is healing. I am convinced of it. We all need to be outdoors far more often than we are. Plan in a long walk, plan in a beach day, even if the beach is a little bit of a trip away. Plan in a picnic in a park. If you haven't been under a tree or you haven't been near a body of water in a while, plan it in. The next thing that you can do to reset for a new month is to do something that will make your life easier ongoing. Think about the systems that you have in your life where there might be some friction. So if you have a meal planning system, you have a cleaning system, a system for studying, a system for planning. What about those systems feels hard? What feels difficult? And how can you make those things easier for yourself? Or if you don't have some systems in place that you know would make your life easier, how can you work on those systems? Ask yourself, what would make the things that I want to do lower effort and lower energy tasks? In my case, I am looking at something in my business to make easier. And something that I've had on my mind for a while but never actioned is taking my videos and cutting them down and then posting them to Instagram. This makes my life easier because it creates content without me having to actually create more content. Also, my videos are often packed with value up until the end, but some people only watch the start. So I get to take bits and pieces that are more from the end of a video and pop them into my Instagram. So I actually decided to create a whole system for this using Canva, the sponsor of today's video. They make it really simple. I just went ahead, dropped my video into a template that they already had, and I just changed it to fit my branding colors. I cut the video down in Canva, which was so easy, and I added this little animated sun. I wanted to make things look really professional, so I just clicked on the elements, added some animations, and my templates turned out like this. If you've ever used any web editors, particularly for video, the words that come to mind are usually clunky and slow, and with Canva that just doesn't apply. Cutting the video was so simple, so easy. Canva is the easiest way to create graphics without being a graphic designer and to create video without being a professional video editor. The video elements let you add animated stickers, they let you add animated effects, and even stock footage. If you want to create videos, you need an easy way to start. Canva makes it easy to get your designs moving. A Canva Pro subscription gives you access to 70 million photos, 2.5 million videos, 4.5 billion graphics, 5,000 stickers, 30,000 audio tracks, and exclusive animation effects. And I have a link in my description that will give you an extended 45 days pro of Canva so that you can try out everything that it has to offer. The next way to reset for a new month is to deep clean something that is in dire need of a deep clean. Some ideas for you are deep cleaning your fridge, deep cleaning your pantry, deep cleaning your car, your couch, your cupboards, your bathroom cabinets. Clean things in a way that you maybe normally wouldn't. Vacuum areas that you wouldn't normally vacuum. Clean down things that you wouldn't normally touch. Get out the toothbrush to give yourself that extra reset feeling. Another way to reset for a new month is to do a massive brain dump of all of the things that are on your mind. This is such a feel-good task, and I also have the perfect video to guide you alongside it. It's a video called Watch This When You Feel Overwhelmed, and it's literally an audio guide to a brain dump. I've had a few questions about what to do after you brain dump, because the feeling of a brain dump is wonderful. Getting it all off of your mind, I think, is essential. But knowing the steps to take after a brain dump is also important, because otherwise it just becomes this big list of things that you're gonna be like, oh, well, I never wanna look at that again. So in the next few clips, I'm going to show you my process for brain dumping. So the first thing that I do is I do a big brain dump of everything that's on my mind. You'll find big things and small things come up. Not everything is significant. It doesn't have to be. The next thing that I like to do, at least on a good brain dumping day, is to go through and clarify everything. Some of the things that you've written down won't actually be tasks, they'll be projects. So for example, I wrote down finalize recording space, which means nothing. That's not very actionable, that's not very doable or tangible. So that was actually a project. Once I categorized it as a project, I was able to then create a task based on that project. So by command strips, so that I can attach the soundproofing stuff to the wall. Projects are things that involve multiple steps. They're usually things that feel big in your head. And then tasks are things that are usually one step. Sometimes they can be two steps as well, but they feel doable. You read them and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what to do to get that done. As you go through, clarify the wording of some of your tasks. You might have written things down in a rush and they weren't very actionable, or they didn't really make sense, and future you probably wouldn't be able to process them. So it's your job to make that wording more clear, so that if you see those to-dos written down, you're like, yeah, okay, I know what that's about and I know what I need to do. Where you can, add specifics. So if you've written down call doctor, go and find the doctor's number and put it there. If you've written down buy object, go and find the website or the brand so that you know exactly what to look up when you come to that to-do. Once I clarify all of my to-dos, I actually transfer them into Notion. It's so easy to just capture things in Things 3, but to organize stuff, I do things in Notion. So I transfer everything over to Notion, and that's when I start contextualizing as well as prioritizing. So I contextualize by saying, yep, this is a work task, this is a home task. The beauty of contextualizing is that, say you're out on an errand, you can have a look at your errands list in your to-dos, and then you can pick up all the things that you meant to pick up from the store or visit the post office on your way back and do all of those errands in a batch. It lets you more efficiently use your time. Then I prioritize. So the way that I prioritize is actually very specific to me, and these are the categories that I've come up with that have helped me to make more sense of what's important and what's not important. Going through and prioritizing your tasks is really helpful for energy management, because you know, for example, if in the morning you have your most energy, that's when you do your non-urgent but very impactful tasks. The tasks that require a bit more mental labor, and then when you hit the afternoon or you're just having a low energy day, you can visit those non-urgent admin tasks. This system only really works if you are revisiting this list on at least a weekly, if not daily basis. Otherwise, it just becomes unused. But when you're interacting with it regularly, it becomes a really helpful tool to help you to manage your life. The next reset activity you can integrate to end your month is to reflect on the last month. There are 3 things that you need to be doing in your life regularly to create growth. Firstly, you need to be reflecting. Secondly, you need to be planning and strategizing. And third, you need to be taking action. Some people are like, yes, take action, stop thinking so much, just do, which does apply sometimes. A lot of people are all about the planning and the organizing, but you really need a mixture of all of those things. Without reflection, you're going to be making the wrong plans. Without planning, you're going to be making dumb actions. Without actions, it's all going to be for naught. Some reflection questions that you can integrate into your monthly reset are, what were the things that I was the most proud of in this month? Try to expand your mind and think beyond just work wins, productivity wins. You can be proud of yourself for setting some boundaries. You can be proud of yourself for saying no. You can be proud of yourself for taking rest. You can be proud of yourself for integrating self-care more into your life. There are so many things to be proud of that are beyond ticking off your to-dos. The next question is, what were your top highlights for the month? It's a really good idea to find what your highlights were for the month so that you can take those and plan them in for future. If these are the things that are sticking out in your mind as the funnest times, the most interesting times, the things that you really enjoy doing, then you need to be creating more of those things in the future. Another thing that you can ask yourself is, what is working and what is not working? What are the habits, the small changes, the environmental tweaks that you've made that are really working for you? And then what are the things that just are not working for you, that you need to do something something about. The next way that you can reset for a fresh month is to do one task that you have been avoiding. If you want, you can plan a whole day of tasks that you've been avoiding, which is something that I like to do in the form of life admin days. That can be a once a month ritual. But if that is a little too much, just plan on taking action on one task that you have been avoiding in your monthly reset. This could be a really high impact task that has a minimal starting step, like booking in a therapy session, opening up a savings account, finally messaging that person that you've been meaning to go to coffee with for a while. Or it could just be doing a task that you know is going to make your life a little less annoying or a little more pleasant, like power hosing the driveway, taking the weeds out of the garden. The next simple thing that you can integrate into your monthly reset is actually something that will give you ongoing return, and that is marking up your calendar so that you are pointing out all the different times that you can reset in the future. You are emphasizing the fresh start dates on your calendar. You are able to create more fresh starts in your life by giving dates weight. Turn the last weekend of the month into reset weekend. The last day of each quarter becomes a dream mapping day where you take yourself on a date and you set your goals for the next quarter. You can give dates in your calendar power by marking them up as special refresh days. You deserve and you need regular dates where you refresh and reset that sit outside of New Year's. Just because our traditional calendars tell us there is only one day of a year that we set new goals and we create new sites for ourselves does not mean that is true. Create your own New Year's Day multiple times throughout the year by marking up your calendar. I think it's a good idea to give these days actual names. For example, I've talked about rituals that I've created before. So we had Philosophical Sunday, the weekly reset, we've got the weekly marriage meeting. They all have their own little names that make them more significant and I think give them more power. The next thing that you can do to reset your life for a new month is to create one little change in your environment to support your goals. I'm not talking about tidying, I'm not talking about deep cleaning, I'm talking about shaping your environment to make the healthy habits that you want to do easier and to make your goals easier to achieve. For example, if you have a book that you want to read this month, put that book by your bedside table. If you want to start planning this month, put your planner on your desk, open, right beside you. You want to change your environment so that it's easier to do the things that you want to do. These are tiny little tweaks that make the world of difference. If you liked this video, you will probably like my reset video playlist, which is linked on the screen as well as down below. It has videos on my weekly reset, on ideas for a reset day, how to reset your life for 2020 and 2021, and of course you can use those tips any year. There are just a lot of reset vibes in this playlist, so if you are in a reset kind of mood, I'm gonna have that linked on the screen as well as down below. I appreciate you so freaking much and I will see you soon.